Diverse Founders Perspective, the podcast. Episode 7.
Lights, camera, inclusion. How ROSA, Ramiro, CAMERO, and Ramiro AI are revolutionizing film marketing. Welcome to Diverse Founders Perspective, the podcast where we uncover the stories of the untold stories behind bold, brilliant, and diverse founders reshaping businesses and creativity. Today, we are diving into the fascinating intersection of film, technology, and inclusion with a story that blends innovation and imagination. Joining me is ROSA CAMERO, the founder behind Ramiro AI, a groundbreaking film marketing and distribution assistant powered by artificial intelligence. ROSA has spent over 16 years in the global film industry, working on some of Hollywood's biggest hits, from the Twilight Saga and Now You See Me. And she's now using her experience to empower independent filmmakers everywhere to get their stories seen and unheard. So let's dive in, Rosa. Welcome to Diverse Founders Perspective. Let's start with the spark.
Thank you.
What inspired you to create Ramiro AI, and how did the idea first come about?
First, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so excited that I am here and representing a minority in this country that we live in.
Yeah.
And I have to say, your work, what you're doing and giving us voice to these minorities is amazing. And what inspired me to create Ramiro is Ramiro. I mean, that's like, I have to tell you about the name as well. Inspired me in my 18 years of experience in the film industry, especially in the marketing and distribution part of the film industry, that creatives know how to make a film, but they don't know how to promote it or sell it. So they believe, and this is old way of thinking. I mean, this is like 60 or 70 years ago where films were booming. There were so many people, like big studio films, and films make money. I mean, made a lot of money at that time.
Yeah.
And they made a film, the producer or filmmakers made a film, and then somebody else just took it and sold it to other, like to the studios or distributors, all the people in between.
Yeah.
We are in 2025. That doesn't happen anymore. And 97% of the films don't make money. Like they get made, they are sold, they don't make money. So something is missing there. So what inspired me is, okay, maybe the problem first is education. They don't know anything about marketing. And then the second is money. I mean, they don't have the money to hire a consultant, to hire someone that already knows how to distribute their films. So why don't we have a tool that can help them through their journey in making a film until they need to sell it?
Oh, so that's how the idea came about, trying to solve that problem. So you've had such a rich career in the film industry as it is, working on massive productions, independent films alike. How did your experience in that world influence the way you've built Ramiro AI?
That's a really good question, because I learned marketing films. I learned the marketing side and the business side of films with blockbusters. Like actually one of the first films that I work on, it was the Twilight Saga. So that was the only Twilight. It was only that was the first film. They didn't know it was going to be a success. I mean, I met my boss in a event where they expected 300 people. It was 3,000 people there waiting for Robert Pattinson. So it was a crazy event. And so I learned the marketing and distribution and how to promote films with big films. And what I'm trying to do is to take all this knowledge that I got from all these big films and big stars to the filmmakers that they don't have access to that information.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I want to bring a little bit of blockbusters in a smaller scale to them, but not having money doesn't mean that you cannot promote your film.
Yeah, that's true. Like also today with social media, like original, like organic marketing, it can also, we all have phones that we can use to market ourselves, right? So
Exactly. I
yeah,
always say
so
social
many
media is
founders,
just there for us.
yeah, so many founders start their journey to solve a problem they faced personally. What challenge in the film marketing and distribution where you have tried to solve a problem when you started developing Ramiro?
The problem that I have, and I noticed, I was a distributor in Spain. So when I moved to Spain, I knew about distribution, and I opened my own consultancy. In the end, I became a distributor, and filmmakers came to me, and then way it works is that you divide the ticket. So it's a ticket sales, and then you divide the percentage.
Okay.
But what happened with those films that they didn't have a budget for marketing, and that meant that we didn't make money because we were competing with other 25 films at the box office. So, of course, if there's no money, you cannot split the ticket sale. So it was really frustrating for me. And that's when I decided that I wanted to have a solution for that. And then 2 years ago, of course, at that time, that was 2016, 2017. Like, I didn't know about in artificial intelligence or anything. And I think 2 years ago, it started being like very on vogue. Like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I said, I think AI can solve this problem. I think we are in a good in a good time, in a good year to start thinking about it. So it was around 2 years that I started thinking about the idea, and then it became real this year.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah. I love that Ramiro is designed to make film marketing simpler and more accessible. Can you share what makes Ramiro unique compared to other AI marketing tools out there?
So first is knowledge base. So that means that all the knowledge that I have in the processes and the way I work, it's embedded into Ramiro AI. It also uses OpenAI, for example, but because it's training my knowledge and in a certain way, it will give you the answers and it will give you the strategies the way I would do it. It's not exactly the same, of course, but it has like a very clear path that he needs to follow. And then also it's different because it's specialized in film marketing. So if you go to ChatGPT, if you go to Gemini and all these big chat LLM bots, it's general. They're general. So you need to train it in order for them to give you the answers that you want. So it needs first time. You need to be patient. And so Ramiro is already there. I mean, it's already trained. You just need to fill out the information. That's it.
Wow, nice. So you've also mentioned that Ramiro bridges the gap between storytelling and business. That's such a powerful idea, I think. What does that bridge look like in practice?
So in practice when you make a film, they made a film, and then there's many like in the chain of delivering the film to the final audience. There are many people in between. And the idea is to shrink and have a shortcut between making a film and actually watching the film somewhere. So the practical idea is that, okay, you get ready when you're making your film, you package your film, you learn the marketing side, you learn the business side. So you don't have to go through all these people in between, but you can go directly to the people who shows the film as a final step. And so that means more money for you. And that means less time, because each step, it takes more time and more time and more time. And also a film at this moment, it gets gets old really quick.
Yeah, I think that is interesting. So the film industry has always been about storytelling, but marketing, distribution, and data are often the barriers. How is AI transforming that balance between creativity and business?
That's a super interesting question. And something that creatives or filmmakers worry about is using AI to create films. But I always say, what if you use AI to actually make your admin and your business side of the film
Yeah.
like easier, like simpler, instead of worrying that it's gonna take your job, it's gonna make your job easier. So you keep creating. Don't use AI if you don't want, but use AI for the rest of the journey and make it simpler and easier. Like, why do you want to struggle when you can have an assistant
Yeah.
like doing things for you?
Yeah, interesting. For independent filmmakers who might not have big studio budgets, what are the most common mistakes they make when it comes to marketing, and how does Ramiro help them avoid those pitfalls?
So the first marketing mistake is not knowing their audience. They think about their film. They think about like making a film and their story, but they don't think about the people who's gonna watch that film. They just believe that someone out there is gonna just connect with the film. But you need to find that people, because if they don't find the film, they won't watch it and they don't know that exists. And that happens to many, many films out there. So I think that will be the first mistake, no knowing your audience very early, in a very early stage, because you can be in communication with them and you can market your film from a very early stage. That's one thing. And then the other, I think, mistake they have is thinking that someone else is gonna do their job for them. Like, I produce a film, I already did it, so now I'll wait for someone else to
To
market
discover the
and to
film.
distribute. Yeah, so
Yeah.
someone else will do that job, and I just jump to my next project.
Yeah.
And it's like having a business and having a product and wanting to find someone to sell it for you. It's like, if I find someone to sell it for me, that will be much easier. And I think that sales, right? The selling part of a business, that's what sometimes is very difficult for people. So it's not as hard as you
It's
believe.
all about finding that audience, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly.
So how do you ensure that the Ramiro doesn't just give data-driven advice, but also honors the creative soul of filmmakers?
So it doesn't give us the thing about the Ramiro AI is like data driven, but it's very simple to give instructions and to give the step by step. So it not necessarily needs to use the data to communicate that to the filmmakers. So it will give you a easy step by step. So I think that's the difference between the tool that I have, or that I have built, and the other AI, especially in the film industry. There's a lot of data driven marketing and audiences, like very complex topics that some me as a marketeer sometimes I don't understand. Then imagine just teaching that to filmmakers who don't want to market their film. So
Yeah, I
I
think
try to have a tool that is like easy to use for them.
yeah. I think it also sounds like cost effective and very like easy or simpler to use. Like it saves people a lot of time, money, and resources. Like it makes it easier for people.
The users, the I call them pioneers that are already inside the platform, they have told me I have saved time just doing
Yeah.
things, and I am already taking the steps and I already like applying some things into the work that I do.
Yeah.
So that's every time, and you don't need to wait for anyone else to respond an email or waiting for the feedback. So it's just go into Ramiro AI, you ask some questions, and then it will answer you right away.
Fascinating. So you've worked across global markets from Hollywood to Asia to Europe. How do you see technology democratizing access to underrepresented film creators in film?
I mean, I think we need to do that. I mean, I have to say, I haven't watched a lot of films from Africa, and I know people from Africa. They follow me, and I know Africa is a big continent. I'm not saying that very different countries, but yeah. So there are people from there that follow me, and they want to know about the films, and then want to know how to distribute their films to other parts of the world. So it's like just reaching that kind of audiences, so reaching that the filmmakers around the world that maybe don't have access to top-notch executives or top-notch knowledge or
Technology.
accelerators. Technology, so they can have access to Ramiro AI, and it's easy.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So, as a Latina founder, leading an AI company in the creative industry, what has your experience been like navigating spaces where both tech, film are often dominated by certain voices?
Yeah, we have talked about this, Rebecca. It's hard. Like I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Is expression or the word that I'm looking for. But I think sometimes it's also discouraging that all the time they are referring that it's only 2% or 1% of all the venture capital around the world is only for women, and then plus in that 2% is like we are minority. It's like because the grand majority are white women. Let's face it, especially here in Denmark and the Scandinavian countries, like the majority of female founders in Scandinavia are white women, and we are very few that we are foreigners, brown people, uh, color people. We are like two or three, and sometimes I don't even notice. It's like, oh, but that's the way it is. But then I think once you said, okay, I'm surprised it was like this panel, and they didn't have any color people. It's like, that's true. I think I'm not represented there, but it's so normal for us brown or colored people to see white people in front of us. This happens in films as well. Like just recently, they started building these characters of different entities that people feel connected to them. But for how many years we have been seeing only white people like performing in series or in films, in panels. It's
Yeah,
like it's time to change that.
yeah.
We really need to really step up our game.
Yeah, so you're talking more about that. So how does diversity and inclusion show up in your work, not just in your company, but in the stories Ramiro helps share with the world?
I mean, the amazing thing about me and I think my community, or it has to be me, like it's me that I attract international people. So I have people like, for example, using AI, like Ramiro AI at the moment, I have people using it from Latin America. I have people from South Africa and other countries in Africa, from Asia, New Zealand also as well, Europeans. So it's very international. Like always, what I always do when I have webinars or any like event for my community, I always encourage them to network.
Yeah,
So they have these opportunities. And from there, I know from experience that there have been collaborations, amazing collaborations that they got to do because they met through me or through the thing that I'm organizing.
yeah,
So I think diversity is just part of who I am. I
yeah.
mean,
So representation in film is such a powerful force for social change. How do you see technology playing a role in amplifying diversity in diverse storytelling?
that's a very good question. I don't know if technology has a powerful role in representing other
Diverse
like
voices.
diverse voices. In the end, I don't think AI is gonna wipe out the main characters of a film. I mean, if you want a fiction with real humans, you need those humans, and you need a director to actually cast people from different backgrounds. So, but what I'm seeing now more is, for example, people who are making films with AI, they have the power to
Change the
actually
narrative.
build these characters that represent us. So now we need more color people making making AI films, so they represent us,
Yeah,
or people who like the Latin culture.
yeah, that's true. So, what does true inclusion look like in the film industry? Not just on screen, but behind the scenes and on business decisions.
Oh, we need more women. We need more women in power positions. I always say that. I always say, if you're creative, you want to have a career in the film industry, like, have your business side really well plan and learn it, because it's you will face a lot of men out there. Especially,
Mm.
this industry is all about big egos and big I have to say assholes. And that's the truth. So you really need to be well equipped to navigate the film industry and then change it. At
Mm.
least that's what I want to do. Like,
Yeah,
change the narrative, find more women in power, and no only women in power, but it's like kind people, finding kind people who wants to help others.
yeah,
So
that's true.
that's
Women
my motto.
empowering women, like that's such a powerful thing to do. Yeah.
Exactly. Finding more women that empower more women, and no, not telling us that we need to behave like men
Yeah, because
because
like,
we do things differently.
with most women, it's like also they see others as like a competition. Like, they don't know it, like when women help empower other women, it creates a ripple effect. Like women support their families, women like support other women, create businesses, mentorships, and all stuff like that. So that's powerful. So,
I
what
agree.
advice would you give to other diverse women founders who are entering industries that weren't built for them, but who want to make real impact anyway?
And let's connect.
Yeah.
Let's create a community. Let's all support also Rebecca, that is helping us to do to have a voice in Denmark. I will say, keep moving, keep making things happen. Don't give up. That sounds like super cheesy, and everyone says that.
Yeah.
But I think for us, we really need to try, because it's very easy to get disappointed. It's very easy to just say, I'm not gonna try again. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna do something else.
Because I
So
also think that we rise by lifting others. Like, when you pull somebody, you also pull yourself up. You are pulling the one person, and like that, people don't realize all these like
I
things
agree.
that.
I agree. Like, women or people that, like, they can help others to get to where they want. So, like, just as you said, like, ripple effect.
Yeah.
If I can see myself in someone else,
Mm,
and then I can be inspired by it, then
mm.
I think, if she's there, why I cannot be there?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that
that's
can be
true.
me. That can be
Yeah.
me in a few years, and next year, next month, who knows?
And you also inspire others behind you, like who see you out there and who want to be like you, thinking like, if she can do it, I can also do it. All right.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Ramiro feels
Yeah.
more like a more than just a tool. It's a mentor, it's a guide, it's almost a creative partner. So was that intentional when you've designed it?
I think, a partnership, yes, I thought about it, but it's also the way AI works. So
Mm,
it wasn't intentional that I thought it's gonna be your friend and you're gonna be chatting with your buddy. But AI works like that, right? So just by nature, by AI nature, AI is polite and it's nice and it's uplifting and it's positive. I mean, if you go into AI like ChatGPT or Gemini, they will be so polite and so nice to you. And sometimes like that bothers me. Like, why are you being so so nice to me? So Ramiro is trained to be
But
nice and
also,
polite and friendly.
I think also with AI, many say that you just have to learn how to talk to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Right?
true. I mean, it's not everyone said about prompting and let's be like you need to be like super good at prompting. I mean, when I started, I didn't know anything about prompting. But what I
Mm.
did is I asked the AI, okay, if I need to do this, what do I need to ask you? And
Yeah.
it will answer. And then you tweak and change and try again. So that's the way you work with AI. Is not, I actually think that you didn't born with prompting. I mean, nobody knows how to prompt.
No.
So that's like the last year you have heard about prompting and doing things with AI. But the first step is just to ask questions to the AI. And if it doesn't make sense, it's because it's not trained. So then you try again and then okay, I want this kind of answer. Like what do I need to ask or what do I need to write?
Yeah. So can you share a story or example of a filmmaker who used Ramiro successfully to market or distribute their film?
So actually, I had a session this week, and one of my clients that is using Ramiro. So he wants to dub his film into another language, Spanish. And of course, he's not fluent in he's not fluent in Spanish. He is English native, and he
Yeah.
doesn't know Spanish. So he used Ramiro AI to translate an email that he needed to send to a magazine. And he used it. He sent the email, and then they responded 2 days later. So that's the kind of things that you can expect. Also finding partnerships and finding people you can work with instead of going into Google and Googling what are the people that I can work. So it's like more specific. You're in one place. You don't have like all these links
No.
that you don't know where to look for.
Yeah. So you also mentioned that success starts long before release day of a film. Can you talk about why early marketing planning is critical for filmmakers?
You know your audience. So having your marketing figured out from the beginning, it means that you have more time to promote it and more time to grow your audience. So
Mm.
grow the people who wants to watch your films. So it's not like you you have a film and then oh okay I'm gonna release it next week. You have 1 week to find people to watch your film. What's gonna happen? Nobody's gonna watch your film. I
No.
mean, that's the reality, unless that you have a lot of money to pay a pay campaign. And even though you can see with blockbusters, and they spent a lot of money to promote their films. If they're
Mm.
spending a lot of money to promote their films, even though we already know who's Spider-Man,
Mm.
like why wouldn't us that nobody knows our films that we shouldn't promote our films?
And you should do it way in advance before the release of the film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your vision for the future of Ramiro? Do you see it expanding beyond film or into other creative
Yes.
industries?
Oh yes, I really excited. That really excites me. The first stop is Ramiro ya in the film industry, and one that we have like a really good tool that is already tested and is already done. We want to duplicate it to other creative industries because that can be really helpful for artists, authors,
Yeah.
even marketing agencies. Sometimes, yes, painters. Like we know creatives, they have a hard time selling themselves.
Yeah,
So why
that's
not
true.
having a tool to help them to deal with that part of the problem?
Yeah, that was fascinating. So let's switch gears a little and do a quick round of fun. Rapid fire questions. Just say one thing that comes to mind. So, your all-time
Ooh.
favorite film that inspires you.
The what?
Your all-time favorite film that inspires you.
A film? A film that inspired me.
Yeah.
My favorite film is Flashdance. I'm a big romantic geek.
Well,
I love, yeah. So Flashdance is like from the 80s. That's my go-to film.
so one word to describe entrepreneurship for you.
Adventure.
A movie you think every founder should watch.
Every founder. There's The Intern.
Mhm.
The Intern is a good film with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. The best advice you've ever received in your career.
Don't take advice from everyone.
If Ramiro were a character in a film, who would they be?
Wait, I don't know. That would be like, oh, I was going to say RoboCop, but then we don't want RoboCop. RoboCop in films 2 and 3 and 4, where
Oh, okay.
RoboCop was a good guy.
So, Rosa, as we wrap up, what's the message you want filmmakers and entrepreneurs to take away from your journey?
Consistency and people they always tell me this word that I forgot now. Yeah, but it will be consistency. Like you
Yeah.
don't get to a place just because you want to get to a place, but you really need to do things every day to get there.
Yeah. So, and finally, what does diversity in storytelling mean to you, both as creative and as a founder?
Fun and passion.
Interesting. So, that's it for today's episode of Diverse Founders Perspective. A huge thanks to you, Rosa, for sharing your story and for reminding us that technology and storytelling aren't opposite. They are partners in helping diverse voices reach the world. So if you're a filmmaker out there, like looking to shine, Ramiro AI is for you, and check it out and see how it is inspiring stories from diverse founders across Denmark and beyond. So this was very enlightening for us, and Diverse Founders Perspective. Check us out on LinkedIn and YouTube at Diverse Minds, One Vision for Success.
Thanks for watching the Diverse Founders Network podcast. Next episode is with Elizabeth Iore, a finance and investment coach and founder of IntelliInvest Copenhagen.